Shana Tova, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to everybody who came early. Thanks for coming early. Welcome to everybody who's on their comfy seat in their home, maybe with a friend, maybe alone. Shana Tova, first morning of the year. We're going to sing Modeh Ani to wake up on page 3. נשמעתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך מודה אני לפניך רוח חי וקיים שחזרת בי נשמעתי בחמלה אמונתך just a melody. שחזרת בי, נשמתי בחמלה, רבה אמונתך. Tom, I need Yakuba. נשמתי בחמלה, רבה אמונתך. So one of my best friends, who is like my best friend, and it's not the easiest to get him to come to synagogue, you know, and you think, you know, he's like, he would come, you know, we'll drop in, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, it's not easy. There's been a few appearances over the years. He's a very spiritual person, but not a very synagogal person. And he calls me, he says, you guys do that thing on Rosh Hashanah where you bless the new babies? And they just had a baby. I said, we don't usually do that thing, but for you, if it'll get you to come to synagogue, we will do that thing where we bless the babies. So we're going to make a blessing of the babies. My guitar doesn't like when you put a capo on it. Later this service, as we did last night, we used these two chairs for a feeding of the demons ceremony that came to us from Lama Tsultrim Alioni and Mashig Labdron. The first Lama Tsultrim is a contemporary teacher. She wrote a beautiful book called Feeding Your Demons, and she took the practice from an 11th century monk named Mashig Labdron, if I get the names right. She's a Tibetan monk. And so we're going to feed our demons later. Thank you. But in the beginning, we're going to use these to bless the babies. So during the song, if you've got a baby and you want to come up, we're going to sing to the babies, and you can occupy both chairs. There could be mother and father. I think we got 2 babies at least, so take your time. We like to go along with our songs. If you're a young person and you remember when you were a baby, or if you're a big person and you remember when you're a baby, or if you'd like to come and try and remember when you were a baby, then come, because we need to get accustomed to sitting in the chairs, because we're going to later use them as demon chairs. So we get used to them as baby chairs first, then I think it'll be okay. So yeah. No, you should sit. It'll be nice. We're on page 4. I want to say one more thing to little Ramona. Ramona, baby, we bless you. May your soul be big and kind and wise, and may you be blessed by these two amazing parents that love you so much. May they be filled with the wisdom of their ancestors to raise you with values that know that every living thing is filled with love and life, and we have to be as infinitely kind to all those things as we can. And to do that, it means we have to deal with our demons, because we're taught to fear things in the world. And unless we welcome the demons, then we might be afraid of things that are also made up of God.
יום יום אדפוק דלתיו ויבוא למשכנותיו. יום יום אדפוק דלתיו ויבוא למשכנותיו, ויחביר מנפלאותיו, להגיד בבוקר, בוקר. שחקה אוהל מתח, יד המתח דעה שטח בשערי מזרח, יפתח בבוקר בבוקר. השירו זה לב חוקר, וירנן לבוקר. השיר בגרון יעלה לך, לזיכרון לפני צורך בהרון, יחד כוכבי בוקר. לילה תשיר הודו, יומם יצב לך, חסדו יחלוק לך מכבודו, תעופה בבוקר. השירו זה לב חוקר, וירנן לבוקר. Heroes, try that. Elev choker, ve'aranen laboker, ya. Heroes, elev choker, ve'aranen laboker. Heroes, elev choker, ve'aranen laboker.
all the children of the world be safe. May all the children of the world be blessed. May the children who are privileged to not have fear around them all the time work to grow up to be children that free the children who have to be under fear of their fear. May we make a world where all the children are safe. God bless you, babies. Okay, we ready to move a little bit, my friends? Yeah, ready to shake? I'm going to shake them real quick, Coco, and then I'm going to teach you my song, and then I'm going to invite you, so we're close. Okay, take your hands like this. My bar mitzvah boy in the front row. Oh, yeah. He's not who you think he is. Okay, if you need to make some noises, we're going to make some noises. Breathe in. Exhale. Shake out your neck. Shake out your shoulders. Shake out your tuchus. Shake out your hips. This is just the warm-up for the full movement that's going to come, but I needed to move, and maybe somebody else did too. Shana Tova, we get it going. We got demon work to do later, so we better be ready for it, right? Bodies better be in shape. Unicorns better be in shape, souls in shape. There's a song, and I chose some songs really for the children, so I was so glad we got to do the baby blessing. The children is really the heartbreaking piece among all the other heartbreaking pieces. On page 21, this is going to be the song that Coco is going to move us to. Coco, do you want the chairs here or gone? It's probably okay. And Jay, are the chairs bothering you? Great. This was the first song I ever fell in love with when I heard the oud. When I heard the oud for the first time, it was being played on a record by Hamza El-Din, a Nubian oud player, and I heard this song and I was like, oh my God. And I heard the song and I fell in love with the oud and wanted to pursue the oud, but I never dreamed of being able to play such a song because it always felt like I would never dare to do such a thing. It was too beautiful, too complicated. And then on a day where later we're going to talk about fear and love, and I was going really down the fear hole. Like I was at the point where I might have fallen to pieces in a way that I might not have been able to put myself back together. And in the morning, the song came on. And in the afternoon, a friend in California said, you got to get out of there. You got responsibilities. You got a congregation and you got a family and you can't get lost in the cave right now. So balance it out a little bit. You need this hand, the love hand, if you're going to explore the fear hand. Make sure you have both. And she pulled me up out of the underworld that I had descended to. And in the afternoon, I said, I could play that song. I could do it. I could try and do that song. I think I could do it. And so we're going to try and do that song. And the lyrics are so sweet, and they're in the book. We're going to learn the chorus. Will you sing the chorus with me? Rumi has a poem, and this is the most spiritual lesson. The Rumi poem is, say yes quickly. That's the poem. It goes on for longer, but that's the title. Are you going to sing the song with me? When anybody asks you anything this year, unless it's going to leave you with resentment, say yes quickly. If a friend asks you to preside over their end-of-life ceremonies, say yes quickly. Everybody's on page 21? Have you ever sang in Nubian before? I haven't either. Shana Tova, Happy New Year. We do new things on the New Year.
Asaramesu.
Just on the drone.
Asaramesu.
It sounds really sweet on the lips, and actually it's much easier on my lips than Arabic is trickier. This one flows with a little bit of ease.
Asaramesu.
Let's do
Asaramesu. Asaramesu. Tallabatarsu. Tallabatarsu. Asaramesu. Tallabatarsu.
Okay, Max, there's only one other line that we need to do. We're only going to do the Yamandol Sulga. Yamandol Sulga. Yamandol Sulga. Yamandol Sulga.
Asaramesu. Tallabatarsu. Yamandol Suga. Yamandol Suga.
With courage. Yamandol Suga. Your turn. We are going to do it a little bit, and then Coco is going to come dance us. If somebody, maybe Tom, could set up the mic for Coco in the front here.
a place where you can move a little bit, spread out. Feel the feet on the floor and the knees are soft. Let's just bring a little bouncing, letting the arms bounce off the shoulders, letting the body bounce. Taking a breath in and letting it out. Again, inhale, any audible breath. The bouncing starts to turn a little bit more like shaking. Keeping the feet rooted to the ground, letting everything rise and fall above the feet that are standing 3 inches below the floor. Shaking the flesh off the bone, shaking the leaves off the tree, letting the old year go down into the earth. And then receiving the new year up through your feet, up through your hands, up, and down, 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 up, 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 down, down, down. Letting the shaking become even a little bit more vigorous. Shake it off, let it go, shake it off, let it go, down, down, down. And here's your chance. All the adults may have an adult temper tantrum as vigorous as you would like to go for the next 10 seconds. Shake it off, let it go. Letting out sound. Kids, you can do it too. Letting it out, letting it go. For 5, 4, as much as you can. 3, 2, 1, and pause. Hang your wrists and your elbows, bend those soft knees, and let the bones carry the flesh. Let the bones carry the breath. Let the bones carry the echo of breath. Here I am breathing. Here I am feeling the soles of my feet, crown of my head. No big deal. Very big deal. Softly scan the body with the hands going down, spreading out water at the hips, scooping 2 bowls of water up over your head. Keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching, and then pour the water over the head. Scanning down the body, spreading water, and pouring the water over the crown of the head. Again, feet 3 inches below the ground, fingers a sacred centimeter above where they actually are, and pour. Last time, this time we're gonna get all the air out when we come down. Keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching. Big breath in, letting all the air out as you come down. A little cough at the bottom. Get it all out. Place your non-dominant hand underneath your dominant hand, 2 inches below your belly button. Set the feet right underneath you and close the eyes and sway like you're a reed in the wind. Here I am breathing. Here I am feeling the soles of my feet, crown of my head. Just breath and the And as you lift the chin, float the eyes open and coming back into the light in the room, the last thing we will do is drumming the body. Now empty. We are empty. We are going to drum our empty bodies. You can start right where your hands are. Soften your knees again. It helps to have soft knees as you drum right inside your hip points. This could be the demon body. This could be the empty body. This is not feel good. Inhale. And then right where someone would punch you in the gut, your solar plexus, where you get the air knocked out of you, you're bolstering your spirit for when you do get punched, when you are dealing with the demon, when you are the demon, that you could be punched and withstand that as hard as you can tolerate. Inhale. One more. And then at the lungs, you can cross or you can, either way. The lungs are the most sensitive organ, the organ of grief. Drumming the lungs, inhale. Crown of the head. And then I invite you to let it be messy. Mess up your hair. Drum the head. Last one. Rub the palms together. Hands to the face. Finally, little taps on your heart. That's the rhythm I'll leave you with.
Thank you so much, Magical Coco. Thank you, Tom. In E. Oh.
need you to hold me.
My biggest fear is of people holding me. The way I was held as a child left me fearful of being held. And I made a whole life as a defense mechanism of being the person who holds instead of the person who is asking to be held. And I didn't know my fear until my 40th year when I found it. On page 1 is the Kabbalistic diagram that we call the Tree of Life. It's a map of you and me and the cosmos. You have two hands. In your right hand, lift it up, just the right hand. Call in all of your beloveds, the ones who remind you that even in the world that we see, that teaches us to be afraid, that teaches us to distrust, the beloveds teach us how to love. Grandmothers and grandfathers, ancestors real and dreamed, children, babies, lovers in their best moments. Left hand, fear. The things that scare us, the things that we push to the side, the things that are not yet welcomed because we fear they might break us down. Now, if you go only to the one, the other gets lost. And if you go only to the one, the other gets lost. And if you've made your love big, you've made your love big, but you haven't looked at your fears, then your love has hit a stopping point. And if you're too much in distrust and fear and you haven't found it on this side, you have to go back and find it in love. And this process that we think of as extending is actually deepening. The soul yearns to deepen. And when the way in which we've been held can no longer hold us anymore, the soul says, break me open so I can deepen. And the further deep I go down, the further heights I'll be able to explore. There's a great word that doesn't come to mind from Gaston Bachelard of how a root wants to go this way so that the flower can go this way. Only both ways at the same time can make this beautiful thing of underworld and transcendence. So we have to welcome fear into a world, into a Jewish community that hasn't been able to do so for thousands of years. I think we're going to be at the forefront of teaching everybody that unless we welcome fear, we're not going to be able to get past this moment. So we're going to sing a love song so we feel safe going into our fears. Hands over the heart like this. Recharge your love in this place of love so that we can go and do our work.
ramba
Ahavtanu.
ahavta ahanu ahavta ahanu.
Let's do English.
With big love, with big love, you have loved us, you have loved us with big love, with big
One more, Yakuba.
with a big love, with big love.
Close our eyes, find a still central point. The Sfat Emet teaches of a still small point at everybody's center. A soul point. Big breath for the Shema.
Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, ושאלתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
We're going to have some of my old young friends, young old friends, old young friends, young old. I think it would be young old friends. These ones. Yeah, they're going to read for us in the middle of the Micha Mocha, which is on page 8. And we read this poem, one of the old friends, older old friends. We're all, not quite elder, you do not have elder status yet, but older than the young friends, older than the baby friends. Read the poem last year, and we learned these couple of years ago that a lot of people who said they upheld liberal values, it was more complicated than that. We learned a lot. Now, it's not easy to live the hard values, and to do so means to do serious inner work. And to do serious inner work when you're a Jewish person who's the recipient of thousands of years of trauma that haven't been healed, that work is very complex, and it necessitates community, it necessitates relations, it necessitates a lot of things that aren't always present. And so we'll say these are our values, but whether you've done the work inside, that the things are in tune, that the vibrations will vibrate with each other like sympathetic strings, so that the word you sing outside is actually the vibration on the inside. That's what we want. That we want to say is actually the vibration. It's reflective of the digging you did inside. So this piece is a beautiful poem by Denez Smith. I don't know what the title is. Untitled. I call it Free Palestine, the Free Palestine poem. And in the poem, the animals of the world are going to say Free Palestine. And they're going to say it again and again and again and again. And it's one thing to say, yes, I want a free Palestine. But to hear it again and again and again means that you really have to, your heart is going to have to, each time it's heard, it goes to a different place. And so the vibration is surfaced each time. And that can be an uncomfortable experience if you're just at the beginning of doing that work, of trying to find what's in there. And that's okay. We want everybody to do the work. We'd like it to be faster, say yes quickly, but it takes time, and we have patience. So I hope we can hear and let it be an exploration of that, and know that the freedom of all people is what we want, right? That's the top layer. We want freedom for everybody, safety for everybody. But there's some fears that we have to dig through sometimes to believe that deep on the inside. It necessitates sacrifice, necessitates facing demons. So we're going to sing a little Micha Mocha, and then we're going to read the poem on the inside. Thank you, my old young friends, my young old friends. See you. Zafi, a little tepesine? Yes. Yeah. Zafi, you're cool saying Free Palestine, it's okay?
מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילו עושה מלכותך כבניך רוקיה לפני משה סהלי אנו ועמנו
June Jordan. I was born a black woman, and now I am become a Palestinian. Against the relentless laughter of evil, there is less and less living room. And where are my loved ones?
He calls them children of darkness, and being one myself, having been plucked from between stars, having been born again, in the dark, dark bellies of those ships delivered as cargo. Onto the suffocating light of America I find my kin.
Human animals, he called them, and having been ape, been dog, been mongrel, cattled and cold, I knew who was my brother.
This late in empire, late meaning near its end, not near its completion. Let my language be clear and dangerous as water. Let my mind's tongue move sound, be exact, with where venom is intended and where light sought.
Animals, he called them animals.
Free Palestine, said the birds.
Free Palestine,
said the fish.
free Palestine,
said the mice.
free Palestine,
Said the mountain lions.
free Palestine,
Said the cattle.
free Palestine,
Said the wolves.
free Palestine,
Said the horses.
free Palestine,
Said the bats.
free Palestine,
Said the elephants.
free Palestine,
Said the deer.
free Palestine,
Said the squirrels.
free Palestine,
Said the bears.
free Palestine,
Said the wildebeests.
free Palestine,
Said the geckos.
free Palestine,
Said the snakes.
free Palestine,
Said the dogs and cats.
free Palestine,
Said the bees.
free Palestine,
Said the spiders.
free Palestine,
Said the ants.
free Palestine,
Said the rhinoceros.
free Palestine,
The birds again. Nature.
I hear your prayer.
See your terror.
I know my teeth.
trouble someone for a tissue. These two communities, Jews and Palestinians, are now bonded for all of the future. Brothers and sisters for all of the future now. And if we can't hear the freedom of one as the freedom for the other, then it's not going to work. The futures are entirely intertwined, forever onward. Thank you, my friends. You're magical, and you give me faith, good faith in the future. We're going to make a prayer for peace, and my other friends are going to read a poem from our dear friend Hala Alyan, who came last year on Yom Kippur. I didn't ask her to come this year because we have some Jewish work to do. That's Jewish work alone, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. Ufros, Prayer for Peace, is on page 9.
sees cinder in the tea leaves. The saint turns a daughter into
blue, and the pollution is blue, and the smoke from our mouths is blue, and each cracked egg is mourning. The saint touches the welt, and it turns rhinestone. The saint says, "Return to your grandmother. She's left the door unlocked." The saint says, "She's left you."
The Avery.
The what?
Avery.
The Avery. That turns the clock back to its first hour.
Crickets. Outside the window, the dead are not dead. They are pinned to each other. Siren, hot pink, green, white, like beaks to a wire. It is not enough to say love in Arabic. You must say, "Be the thing that buries me," that turns the clock back to its first hour.
a door. From spackled sky to spackled room, you don't need a house to spread out your rug. Maybe Lowe's trees and peach trees and a rooster that wakes us every morning, a throat or tongue.
That turns the clock back to its first hour. I want the miracle that makes me ordinary.
To kiss the back of her hand. I pray to the rain when I pray, and I pray to open and name what surfaces. My favorite house is my mother, the heart muffled like a speaker. There are no gardens here, only another year. The tree leaves like open palms, up then out and waiting to be patted.
To resurrect into a forked river. The mountain saints are gone and it's a new country now. The women fold the desert into a blanket. Dear cross-stitch patterns of birds, dear patron saint of hyphenates, of lentils and clean feet, of borders and their 7 names, of returning and tap water and Bismillah.
To leave with the blackbirds. The Mediterranean is an accent. The Nile is an accent. My father is an accent. His Gaza with an opera.
Everybody okay? We're going to do a few more things, and then we're going to break this space a little bit and move into teaching and study. And things are different this year, and they're different in the world, they're different in me, and so they're a little different in the service. I'm interested in energies, and if the energies capture the energies of the prayers that we're supposed to be doing, then which words we said is not as important. So we're going to sing in place of some of the usual Rosh Hashanah liturgy, a song on page 11 called Shil Shil in Arabic. We sang it last night, but maybe you weren't here. I told the story a little bit. There's a man named Ahmed Abu Amsa who is helping to bring joy to the children of Gaza. And wherever he is, wherever he's been displaced to, he sets up whatever they can, a circle for the children and the musicians, and he brings joy. He's got his guitar, he teaches them to sing. Children who've seen really terrible things, children who've lost their parents, children who've lost limbs, and he brings joy. And they have drones that are overhead buzzing all the time, and they're dangerous drones. And they go bzzz every second of a child's life, and they have to live with that noise above their heads. And so he took the drone, the bzzz, and he said, let's sing what we call a drone. In music, there's a drone that's a different drone, but they make the same noise. I don't know why it got called a drone. Probably not because of the noise. In music, there's a drone. You go, Let's all do it together. One more time. Sorry. Make a drone with me. So your job is to be the drone, okay? And Zafar and I are going to sing the song. I'll play first. In the liturgy that we're doing this in between is who will live and who will die, who by water, who by fire. You don't know if you'll be alive next Rosh Hashanah, but we live in a place where our likelihood of being alive next Rosh Hashanah is very different than the likelihood of people being alive next Rosh Hashanah in other places.
عشان مالي شي يا حوضتك بالله دمي الشهيد معطر من هيل يا ليلو ويل ويل عالظالمي ويل ويلو من الله بسهر على نجوم الليل انا داويلو شيل شيل عالجمال شيل يا حوضتك بالله دمي الشهيد معطر بالليل يا ليلو ويل ويل عالظالمي ويل ويلو من الله بسهر على نجوم الليل انا داويلو شيل عالجمال شيل يا حوضتك بالله دمي الشهيد معطر بالهيل يا ليلو ويل ويل عالظالمي ويل ويلو من الله بسهر على نجوم الليل انا داويلو شيل شيل عالجمال شيل يا حوضتك بالله دمي الشهيد معطر بالهيل يا ليلو ويل عالظالمي ويل ويلو من الله بسهر على نجوم الليل انا داويلو I'd like everybody to stand if you're able to. We're going to take a few minutes to make personal prayers. On page 12, we have the Unatana Tokef. But we welcome any prayers to the space, your own prayers. And then we'll sing Avinu Malkeinu. To your own space. Hanenu v'hanenu Avinu Malkeinu Hanenu v'hanenu Ki ein banu ma'asu Imenu Malkatenu Hanenu v'hanenu Imenu Malkatenu Hanenu v'hanenu Ki ein banu ma'asu Aseh imanu Tzedaka v'chesed Aseh imanu Tzedaka v'chesed v'hoshir Avinu Malkeinu Hanenu Avinu Malkeinu Hanenu Avinu Ki ein banu ma'asu Aseh imanu Tzedaka v'chesed Aseh imanu Tzedaka v'chesed When you come to the heart of prayer, you have the capacity to bless. So we started doing a blessing of the priestesses because the priestesses had been exiled from the space of blessing for far too long. And it's wild and wonderful and queer and trans and everybody blesses all together. So if you feel you'd like to come bless the people, or if you'd like to be a recipient of blessing, we welcome you however you are. Come up to the front and help us bless. You're not allowed to look at the blessers while they are blessing. You'll face the congregation. You'll raise your hands over your head in the posture of blessing. יברכך אדוני וישמרך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך, יישא אדוני פניו אליך, וישם לך שלום, וישם לך שלום. יברכך אדוני וישמרך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך וחונקה, יישא אדוני פניו אליך, וישם לך שלום, וישם לך שלום. שלום, 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 וישם לך שלום. שלום, 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 וישם לך שלום. יברכך אדוני וישמרך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך, יישא אדוני פניו אליך, וישם לך שלום, וישם לך שלום, וישם לך שלום. Thank you, priests and priestesses. You may be seated. Okay, you guys can take a break for 20. 20-minute break. Thanks, Yakuba. Okay, shake it off, relax. We did the big prayers. I'd say let's do a little Torah dance and let's meet all our neighbors, but otherwise if we do that, we're going to get out of here at 1 o'clock or 1:30, and I don't want to do that to you. I'm keeping us on the schedule if that's okay. Is that okay? Appreciated? Whatever. The world needs our prayers, and this is big. It doesn't happen so often, right? We live in a world that said we don't need prayers. We'll do without them. No big deal. Goodbye, friends, if you're leaving. Thank you so. Upstairs, fantastic. Even better. Oh. I have way too much material for us to do now. So what is to be done? If we had time, if time had stretched for us, I would take out the Torah scroll down here and read from you the story of the binding of Isaac. This is the abbreviated Torah service where we're just going to study and learn together. And the binding of Isaac was my bar mitzvah portion, so I could probably still do it by heart without much rehearsal. Oh, excuse me. Last night it worked out okay to just skip pages and paragraphs at a time and find the essential stuff. So wish me luck, yes? Good luck, Rabbi. I wrote a sticker on my car that said, "Minister parking, Rosh Hashanah, please don't ticket." And I put it on the front, and I put it on Instagram, and I said, "Wish me luck." Good luck, Rabbi. In my research of fear in preparation for the holidays, I went looking for mythologies of fear because oftentimes the myth can do the job of conveying the feeling far better than philosophy or theology. When you get a myth, it gets to the heart of the thing and you can do it quicker. And interestingly, in Greek mythology, fear, who is Phobos, and Demos, who is terror, are just children of Ares. They don't get their own mythologies. They accompany their father to war. Fear and terror accompanying their father to war, but they don't get stories. Their stories are hidden inside of other stories. And I thought to myself, what's the Jewish version? What's the Jewish myth of a descent to an underworld? Because those stories, which are called the katabasis, descents to the underworld, are probably the places where we're going to find the fear stories. If they don't get a myth themselves, there's lots of myths of descending to the underworld, right? And isn't descending to the underworld anything but coming face to face with your fear and your demons? So what's the Jewish version? I thought of Egypt, which is always described as a descent into Egypt, which is maybe the collective version of the descent, but the personal version is the binding of Isaac. And listen to this midrash from the story to open the commentaries. God says to Abraham, short version, God says to Abraham, "Sacrifice your son, your only son, the one you love, Isaac. Walk for 3 days to a place that I will show you and bring him up on the mountain as a sacrifice." And I said, I want to read this mythology as a myth of descent to the underworld, a confrontation with fear. And I went looking for proof in the teachings, and look at this teaching that I found that I swear I've read all these teachings so many times. Maybe I had gone over this one with my eyes, I probably had, but this is what it said. On the third day, Abraham lifted his eyes, and he saw the place from afar. How did it appear from afar? Mount Moriah, Har HaMoriah, the mountain of vision, or the mountain of fear, Har HaMoriah, as it's called. How did it appear from afar? This teaches that in the beginning, it was a place of great deepness. It was a valley. It was an underworld. But when God decided to let her spirit reside there and to make it into the place of the holy temple, God thought, it's not the way of a queen to dwell underworld in a valley, rather in a place that is tall and high, whose beauty can be seen by all. Immediately, God sent a secret message to the hollows around the valley to gather the mountains together to one place to make it a home for God's resting place. Thus it is called Har HaMoriah, the mountain of fear, for the fear of the Holy Blessed One made a mountain. Isn't that so great? I found it. I was like, okay, I'm on the right track. This is it. You have to go. We have to go down. Why the underworld? Because what the world has done before our eyes in the last 2 years, what's happening in our country, in Gaza, genocide, what's happening, destroys the container of souls that we've formed for ourselves until this point. Those containers of souls have shattered. It's no longer possible, if your eyes are on this thing as my eyes have been every day for 700 days, it's no longer possible to be the same human being that you were. And really, every Rosh Hashanah you could come and should come and break your soul. The soul for last year shouldn't be the same soul that you should be walking through. You should be descending to the underworld, confronting the fears that are on your table for this year, and making a new soul, a new garment, a new vessel that's going to hold you for the year to come. That's Rosh Hashanah that says, come and face your death. You might die this year. If you live with these truths that are so difficult to live with, that death is possible at any moment, that we are so profoundly fragile, that the sprinkling of you get privilege and you get wealth and you get not having to be that afraid because generally life on these streets is safe. Other people don't have that, and so you can live on the surface. But what if you had to live in the underworld all the time? Or what if you came once a year, or once a month, or once a week, or once a day? Your soul would be reformed, and you would go out in the world differently, capable of healing and helping the people that don't have that privilege in a way that you don't if you don't go down. And the Jewish community, imagine how much fear we have after 3,000 years of trauma. Imagine how much fear after 3,000 years of ghettos and hate and blood libel, real blood libel, not nonsense blood libel. Imagine how much fear was stored, was collected. Imagine collecting somewhere and becoming a demon. And a demon that nobody wanted to talk about. It was so big, it was impossible to face, especially after Holocaust, that it was impossible to speak about because we didn't have the tools or the container or the time to look at something that big and terrifying. Is there enough love in the room that we can deal with this? Okay, there's enough love. We can do it. And so instead, we had to say, there's anti-Semitism, there's anti-Semitism, there's anti-Semitism. We're in Florida, we're in Fort Lauderdale. We're having lunch, we're on the Upper West Side. There's anti-Semitism. I'm having lunch on the Upper West Side. There's anti-Semitism. When really the point was, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. My grandparents were afraid. My great-grandparents were afraid. And it wasn't, we didn't live in a world. We're still under patriarchy and all of its evils, and so we're not allowed to say we're afraid. It's fragile to say we're afraid. It's vulnerable to say you're afraid. It's vulnerable to say you're afraid when you're the one holding all the power. So that's when I said we have to welcome fear back into the circle. This has to be the conversation now. It's we're covering for all this. So I think what I want to try and do, we'll see if it works. Zivar, my beloved, she would just like lay things on my desk. I was doing all this really heavy, terrifying research into myself, into the psyche of the Jewish people. And she would just lay the thing on my desk, and she had no idea if it would be helpful, and it was always the perfect thing. She got it right so many times this year. She laid down an essay by Donald Winnicott, who was maybe correct me if I get it wrong, is really responsible for helping the beginning of attachment theory. Louder? Object relations, but didn't that get us then to attachment theory? That's what I was going for. Like the great-grandparent of now what became attachment theory, which is teaching us how to raise children in the right ways so they feel safe and nourished and they can find themselves. Mr. Winnicott does this. He says sometimes what happens in childhood is there's I hope I get the term right, it's so hard with the pages. primary agony, a primal agony. Okay, and he's talking about people with very profound mental illnesses. That there was something that happened there was so much brokenness at some point when they were little babies that a defense mechanism was created to help structure the identity so that it would be okay and capable of tolerating the primary agony. And that sometimes, he says, even now what we're calling the mental illness was the defense mechanism. It was the thing that made them okay enough to be able to hold the agony that was too much to hold, that they couldn't experience as a child. It was too much to experience, and so they weren't there to their own experience. And so later in life, he says, there's a fear of breakdown. And the fear of breakdown is always imagined as something in the future. And for me, I came up against it. I was descending to the underworld. I was confronting the worst demons of Jewish fear and my own personal ones, which I'll tell you about if we have time. And then she dropped the essay on my desk in fear of breakdown. And this is what he says. Fear of breakdown is not a breakdown in the future that's you think is going to happen. It's a breakdown that happened already, except you weren't there to experience it. And can we create a container that feels safe enough to experience the breakdown so that you don't have to relive it again and again and again? So Abraham's the creator of monotheism, right? Monotheism, which then created Christianity and created Islam. These are the Trinity religions of monotheism, which have they done wonderful things for the world? Oh, I'm not so sure. Monotheism. Eric Newman is a fantastic psychologist, student of Jung, who said, he has a book called The Origins and History of Consciousness that says the biggest thing about monotheism was it created a new identity for the psyche itself. It said, I can experience myself as one, distinct from the tribe, which I couldn't do before polytheism. It was too tribal and the one, so we got the gift of the ego, and yes, the ego is complicated, but it came with this capacity to self-reflect, to dig into the underworld in a new way, which you couldn't do before because the ego, the singular, wasn't mirrored by God. The God was a picture of yourself. It was you. Now I can explore myself. And so there was a gift, and it came with all these horrific things of don't welcome fear. And so what are the dark sides of monotheism? Let's not go there yet. How was it a defense mechanism? What was Abraham's primal agony? There's a quote that I found in Ha'emek HaDavar, one of the commentaries on, he's giving a commentary on the Tower of Babel, and that generation is known as the generation of dispersion, okay? And the verse says, they said, come, let's make ourselves a city and a tower, its top to reach the heavens. Let us make ourselves a name, lest we be scattered over the face of the earth. We must understand why they feared that someone might leave to another land. And it is understood that this was related to the uniformity that was among them. And since the opinions of people are not identical, they feared that people might abandon this philosophy and adopt another. Therefore, they sought to ensure that no one would leave their society, and one who veered from this uniformity among them was judged with burning, just as they did to our forefather Abraham. And the same words can also be seen as the fact that they would kill whoever did not think like them. There's a fundamental fear
of multiplicity of thought, of multiplicity of being, of the Jewish community having people that go outside and say, wait, we really do want freedom for all people. You're not Jewish anymore. That's not Jewish. Free Palestine. You're not a rabbi. You don't look like a rabbi. You're wearing a unicorn costume on Halloween. You're not a rabbi. You're not Jewish. Not Jewish. Free Palestine, not Jewish. There's a fundamental fear of what happens to the community. Can it contain these things? And monotheism maybe was Abraham's answer of saying, wait, one God, it can hold it all together. You've got all these disparate pieces. We can hold it all together. Okay, but what then happens to Abraham at the end of his life? And now we're at the moment where he has a knife. He's going to make a sacrifice. Could a sacrifice of that magnitude, having to offer the thing that's most precious to you, having to give up your soul, having to give up the thing that you think you are, the journey that Jewish people were going through is we are Israel. This was our identity. This was who we were. This is what our grandparents gave us. When you have to cut that thing, when you have to cut it open, am I going to be whole on the other side? At the end of that story, Abraham's holding the knife, okay? At the beginning of the story, he said the same thing. God calls to Abraham and says, Abraham, and he says, Hineni, right? Do we know this word? Hineni, here I am. I'm here. At the end of the story, Abraham's holding the knife, about to make the cut. He's at the point of breakdown. And God calls to him and says, Abraham. And he says, Abraham again. Is Abraham present to his own story in the moment that's most difficult? Why does he need to be called twice? If you're really present to your own story, do you need to be woken up like that? Abraham, Abraham, Abraham. I've got my little Rumi who's 6 or 7. How old are you guys? Yeah. Rumi's 9, Ara's 4, but Rumi, 9. I have to say her name like 18 times sometimes. Rumi, 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 Rumi. I like to go ascending in volume. Zivar starts at top volume. She just goes straight to the top. Hineni, I'm here. Was Israel there in October of 2023? Were American Jews there in October of 2023? We were here 2 weeks after October 7th, calling for ceasefire, making prayers for ceasefire. Because we'd studied, we'd understood colonialism, we'd made connections to the Arab community. We'd faced some of our fears that said, there's no other. But the Jewish community, because of how deep the trauma was, is not here. We're in a perpetual Holocaust. We weren't there for the Holocaust, and we couldn't have been. But it was our responsibility in the memorializations afterwards to figure out how to go back and say we can be here now and not come out of the Holocaust memorialization experiences more afraid. I called my grandmother, this is like a week and a half ago, and her
husband, my grandfather. I have 6 grandparents. I'm very lucky. Wally is 98 and a half, and she's now doing a lot of work caring for him. And she's overwhelmed, and we only had a chance to speak for like 3 minutes before he pulled her away. I go, Nams, how are you? What's going on? She says, there's a new Holocaust exhibit in town. I said, oh. She said, how was it? She said, oh, it's really interesting. They brought one of the cattle cars that Jews were shipped to the camps in. And you got to go inside of it. And because Wally was connected to the Holocaust, he's German, he got out earlier, but he was a child of those years. He's 98 and a half now. Because of Wally, and he's done stuff for the St. Louis community, I got to go in with the VIPs. I was there with the VIPs with Mr. Steinberg in the thing, and I said, "What was it like?" And she said, "Well, yeah, it was really scary, and they closed the doors on us." I said, "They closed the doors on you?" I want to use curse words. It's crazy. You're trying to make people afraid? I had a vision as I'd been writing about these things that to do that work, we need people who are very well trained in death work, in grief work, to go either physically or in meditation, and to make prayers where you feel safe and can go back psychically to the experience, but now give it a covering of peace, of truth. That's what has to happen on trauma of this magnitude, so that the person coming through the experience leaves believing in love, even though this is what took place. And if you don't do that, it's going to happen again. While I'm doing all this work teetering at the edge of breakdown and grief, there's an eruption with my parents of the story that I've gone through my whole life again and again and again. And someone in my near family circle, I want to give the idola an image of a black hole. This person is a black hole. There's something about them that they had a primary agony that they have not been able to work with. And on the outside, it's all totally fine. It's beautiful, amazing parent, and there are many qualities that are very beautiful, and I feel very safe and nurtured as a child. And it gave me the capacity to have much confidence to do this work. But the black hole was always taking in every exchange of love. Always taking, and I didn't realize it as a kid. I wasn't there to my own thing because I couldn't be. And as a teenager, I grew very angry because I started to feel that something was wrong. And I would have huge explosions of anger whenever a breakdown of a barrier that I was trying to put in place was broken. And I was blamed for having those bouts of anger. Gaslit, not for the original incident that had happened, because I got angry. That was now the issue. And it was mutual, and it was my fault and their fault, and so we needed to co-apologize, instead of a person being able to own that they didn't know how to contain their own energy and were not doing the work to bear responsibility for it. That was my primary agony, and what was my defense mechanism? I learned to find great nourishment in giving. I became the theoretical white hole. There is such a thing, and it can't suck in energy because it's only always giving. It only gives. The black hole always takes, and the white hole always give. I'll become a rabbi so that I don't have to face the fear of being vulnerable around asking other people to hold me. I'll just give, and I'll give even when people are going through the most difficult things. I'll show up and be generous around death and break down. Zivar put a book on my desk called Feeding Your Demons by Lama Tsultrim Alioni. And it's a practice that she's been doing for 20 years. It was originated by a Tibetan woman monk by the name of Machi Glabron. I apologize for not making mention of our sources last night. It's very important to mention the source names, especially when they are women, and especially I can't remember the end of the sentence. She put a book on my desk called Feeding Your Demons. Are you ready to play a game with me? Yes? Okay, the game is called Feeding Your Demons. And if it becomes hard and you need to step out in any moment, that's totally fine, okay? What I came to understand is that we have to do this work personally, and we have to do this work as a collective of Jewish community, because there's this big demon hanging over the Jewish community. We don't feel safe. We don't feel safe. We don't feel safe. We're caught in the Holocaust because it was very, very profoundly terrifying to attend to. Okay, here's the game. Shake it off, because we did a lot of material. Thank you for listening and sharing that with me. Hey, guys. Yeah, you two. Will you go tell the musicians they have a 3-minute warning? Thank you. Okay, you want to choose a demon to work with. Okay? Demon is an obstacle. Something that returns to you that's maybe a feeling that's hard to work with. A feeling that comes to you and you do not welcome it. And it might come to you recurrently, whether that's weekly or monthly or annually. Mine was anger, and I've been working with the demon of anger. Any clarifying questions thus far? Don't be shy. Try to find the demon on your body. The body is so wise, it intuits these things far ahead of us. And so often we have pain points or stuck points. Often they're on the back side of the body, the sitra achra, what we call the dark side, the back side. Okay, when you've found that point, try and magnify the sensation. Try and amplify the sensation, and we're gonna. And what is its emotional content? Okay, now when you have all of those and you can feel them, try and give the demon form. You're going to imagine yourself in one of these chairs and the demon in the other chair, and you're seated facing your demon, and it's taking on a physical form. Is it large? Is it small? Does it have legs? Does it have arms? Does it have many arms? Does it have fingernails? Does it have fingers? Does it have toes? Does it have fur? Does it have scales? Does it have claws? Does it have weapons in its hands? Does it have wings? I sat with Mr. Thelonious this morning and asked him which animals composed a dragon, and he said a fox and a bat and an octopus. and a dragon itself. A dragon has to be composed of a dragon itself, because nothing can quite be a dragon except a dragon. Now that you have your demon in front of you, switch places and become your demon, and feels what it feels like to be that demon. Look at yourself and feel what you look like from the eyes of the demon. I forgot one of the most important pieces. What's in the demon's eyes? What energy is in their eyes? What energy is in your eyes from their perspective? Breathe, everybody, breathe. Now exchange seats again. You are yourself looking at the demon. And we're going to ask the demon these very important questions. We're going to say, what kind of food do you need? What kind of nourishment do you need? What good thing would you like that would satiate you? What are you hungry for? I'll bring it to you. What do you want? What are you really wanting? Not the magnification of the same thing again. Something positive. Okay, and we've arrived at the heart of the practice. Now that the table is set, and in the traditional Tibetan practice, we have bells, we have drums, we have a horn that's made from a thigh bone. Ours is a ram's horn instead, and we have a ceremonial knife to cut up the obstacle, to cut up ourselves, to cut up the demon, and feed it from the food. So we're going to take the thing that it asked for, and we're going to pour ourselves into a nectar. You're going to dissolve your body. Your body is going to dissolve. You're going to give up your soul. You're going to give up your fear. You're going to say, I'm willing to self-annihilate to feed this demon. And I'm going to satiate you until you've been given and quenched your thirst. Completely full over the series of many breaths with ceremonial music. Okay, we're going to make this ceremony, we're going to combine it with the shofar ceremony, and we're going to invite you to come and face your demon. This is the chair to sit in over here on my right, your left, and this is the chair for the demon. And if you'd like to take a few seconds to be in the chair and give your nourishment to the demon, we will all, the musicians, the priests. Yakuba comes from 70 generations of musician priests. Jelly, he's going to bless you. We're going to bless the demons. And we're going to blow shofar in between. We're going to do this ceremony for quite a few minutes. And I'd like by the end of it to everybody come be around so that we create a circle around the blessing of the demons. Any clarifying questions? We ready? Okay, now wait, I forgot another big piece. We're dealing with the personal ones, but we're also going to try to feed the Jewish demon. And I tried on my own, and the demon was far too big for me. It said, you need a congregation. Go get a congregation, a flock of congregations who are willing to face their fears. And it said to me, maybe it'll say to you something else, I just want to feel safe. Can you feed me safety? Let me feel safe. I haven't been safe in a long time. And so let's feed it safety and see what happens. And let's dance and move and shake. It's joyful, it's loving and fearful at the same time. Okay, but by the end,
come in the front rows, come in the aisle, come around here, take a few seconds in this chair. No one ever sits in this chair. The demons sit in this chair. Okay? And we're going to sing Hamza while we do it. If you'd like to stand, feel free to stand. We're going to open the Feeding the Demon practice, Chod, now. אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו מצוותיו וציוונו לשמוע קול שופר ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Gesture of how you help them work with a demon. You have one hand very close to the side of your face, and on the exhale you blow gently so that the thing moves through them with blessing. Changing my job title. I'm renouncing the title of rabbi. I'm taking on demon talker. Shofar gives expression to the unexpressible brokennesses that we've witnessed. Genocides and holocausts. Unexpressible in language, and personal agonies that we're trying to find holy ways of holding. Thank you to Maxi T, thank you to Zafar Tawil, thank you Yakuba Sissoko, Nazi Antakli, my co-demon talkers.
yourself, pour yourself, pour yourself. And in pouring, you're free to the demon. It's nourished. It's not going to eat you anymore. You think you have to hold yourself and push the demon away. Cut yourself up. Cut yourself up. This construction of soul that you used this year is not good anymore. We cut it into pieces. We feed it to the demon, and it gives you a new soul. Everyone take a big breath. Tekiah Gedolah. With the Tekiah Gedolah, we're going to close the circle in the demon ceremony. Thank you for making it with all of us. Thank you, everyone from afar, making it with us. It's a practice that will shape you, and so I urge you to practice over these 10 days of Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur, and on Yom Kippur there'll be space to come and share maybe what you worked with. And it can be 10 minutes sitting opposite a chair, or it can be 3 breaths in the car when the demon came to jump in the seat. It came. It was like you were driving, and then, oh, I'm right here, driving to Rosh Hashanah, and all of a sudden you're sitting right here next to me. I didn't invite you, didn't want to have this conversation, and here you are. So I have a practice now. Bless all the ancestors. May they be healed by our work today. May they be nourished and freed of some of their demons and fears. Yitkadal v'yikadash shmei Rabbah, v'yalmad yivrach rotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaychon v'yomechon v'chay dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'meru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah m'vorach le'olam lalmei almaya, yitparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shmei de Kudisha, Brichu, Laela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechmata da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlam rabba min shemaya v'chayim, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yal kol yishvei tevel v'imru, amen. May great peace flow like a fountain. May all you who came and made such good prayers be blessed. May go out with new souls, ready for a big year of work. And we hope we gave you some gifts to share of how to talk to demons. We're going to go out with one more song that I would teach to you, but I've taught you enough. Thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to the people I will miss. Thank you to all of our co-conspirators. Thank you to Coco. Thank you to
the youth that gave me the gift of tears. If I said anything wrong, this is to everybody. If I said anything wrong, I hope you'll forgive me. We're works in progress, and if you send me an email, I'll probably make a corrective in the next service. So that's all you got to do. I'll correct it the next time. We teach each other. It's not one directional, even though that's how the church is set up. We really try to make it not. Thank you to Zivar, my family. Thank you, Tom and Jay. Magnificent. We love you guys. Really help us. They bring it out to the world. Thank you to all the people that joined from afar. Do not take, your Rosh Hashanah prayer books because we have a service tomorrow and I need them, but the service is upstate. You are more than welcome to join. It's not that far. It should be fantastic. It's in Stone Ridge, and we have a concert tomorrow night as well. I need like 50 of the demon cards, so if it looks like there's more than 50 demon cards, then take a demon card. I will have more for you on Yom Kippur, and I have digital versions. And on Yom Kippur, you can take them home. But if there's more than 50 that we see, then go to town. Thank you for being strong with the prayers. Apples on the way out that are very sweet. I picked them for you with Rumi and Ara. We're going to sing a song that we composed, my friend Yulia, and the melodies from the Western Sahara. It's called Lord, Bring Apartheid Crashing Down. I'm sorry we went late. God decreed it that way. It wasn't me. No, guitar. You want it? You can have it. Yeah, you do. Yeah. D. G. Isn't it fun when you can just pass the instrument to the person next to you and they know how to play it better than you do? That's a performer's trick. It's in G. Close enough. When the hands we outstretch are shaking with fear, when the mouth of the river twists and turns into lies, when we swallow mud, when anger leaches blood, when beetles devour the flesh of the trees, when old terror poisons the soil, when drones scream into night, when the children lie awake for years and years and years, when nightmare becomes flesh, when we run from death to death, when the dread claws us bone deep, when the rot is all our own. Let all things fall that must fall. Let all things break that must break, Lord. Let apartheid come crashing down. Let apartheid crash it down. Let all things fall that must fall. Let all things break that must break. Bring apartheid crashing down. Bring apartheid crashing down. With sweetness unbound, when grief explodes into flower, when the child falls asleep in my arms, when the crickets on the hills break out into song, oh, a heart could leap with joy over all there is to love. Let all things rise that must rise. Let all things bloom that must bloom. apartheid crashing down. Bring apartheid crashing down. Let's go. Let all things rise, let us rise. Let all things bloom, let us bloom. Bring apartheid crashing down. Bring apartheid crashing down. Come on. Let all things rise, let us rise. Let all things bloom, let us bloom. Bring apartheid crashing down. Bring apartheid crashing down. We've got a hit. It's Mauritania meets Pete Seeger. Will you learn it for Yom Kippur? Will you be the choir? Everybody? Okay, so everybody who's here, you're taking a vow. Will you take a vow and say yes quickly? You'll be the choir, and you'll come and you'll face whoever didn't show up on Rosh Hashanah, and you'll teach him the song. And so you got to get my cell phone number. I'll publicize it, and you text me, and you say, Rabbi Zach, or just Zach, send me the song, and I'll send you the rough version, and then you learn it, and we'll be the choir. Yes? Okay. Send me an email, and I'll send you my phone number, then you send me a text, then I'll send you the song. It's a long gift chain, but that's how we got to do it. Last time the chorus, then go eat an apple and bless the new year. Let all things rise, they must rise. Let all things bloom, they must bloom. Let apartheid come crashing down. Bring apartheid crashing down. Shana Tova, everybody. Happy New Year.